listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Yeah, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, bunch of train. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever.
All right, for all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican postgame report. Much love to the flock and fam. Appreciate y'all for being in the live. Much love to the fam, man. And this one here, man, another tough one. Pelicans squander opportunity versus Nets. 107 to 105. It's just another debacle. So appreciate y'all being in the live, man. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We in this thing recapping the Pelicans loss by 2 to the Nets. And they had a lot going on in this one, Lex. But at the end of the day, it just is another crapshoot that went down in a major way. I don't. It's getting difficult and more difficult to try to sit and explain the things that Yves put on a good performance. Brandon Boston did what he needed to do. Brandon Ingram got out there and made some plays. And then in the end, we just couldn't capitalize. Too many things going wrong for the Pelicans in the end, clutch time moments. Please explain, Lex. I'm going to let you kind of chime in before we get to the post-game presser from Willie Green. So welcome on in and quick thoughts on what you've seen tonight.
Really, if you can't win against teams like this, games like this, how can you win? Because if you look at these first few games, most of the games have been against teams that are in rebuild. They're not top teams at all. So they had a chance to win this game. There's no way that you could go 3 straight possessions and you're doing one-on-one. Where was the play? Out of the timeout, you did the same exact thing that did not work for 3 to 4 minutes. You can't do that. Like, it's not it. It's not it. You gave the ball to Brandon to go one-on-one. You can't do that. It's crunch time. Make a play. And this is out of the timeout, so you had time. You had time to do that. And then for a team like this, why are you holding the ball? Why are you holding the ball all the way down until the shot clock is at 2 seconds? You can't do that. First of all, you all are not You have to continue to play with pace. You got away from what was helping you. I didn't understand that. Why are you slowing the game down? Now it's working against you. The game is working against you. And then obviously you have to understand the math. The only way that Brooklyn stayed in the game is because they were shooting threes. They had more 18 threes. They put up about what, 40? And the Pelicans like 9 or something. That's how they were keeping the game close the whole time. The three was keeping them in the game. So it's like, why did you all stop playing? You stopped. You started slowing the game down like y'all were up. You're not up by double digits. This is a close game. You have to keep playing. You have to keep playing. That just didn't make any sense. But between those three things, you know, you had 3 straight possessions going one-on-one. First it was Brandon, then it was Boston, then it was Trigger. Then a timeout is called, and you have Brandon go one-on-one, and you get the same results. At some point in time, you have to start learning plays, Brother Willie. You have to learn some plays. Copy off of one of these other teams and call it something different. A lot of teams do it. You have to call a play. Going one-on-one is not the answer. You did that three times previous. It's like you can't continue to do that. The Pelicans did not make another shot. They didn't make another shot.
Yeah, Lex.
Brooklyn, ample amount of opportunities. If you can't win these games, right here, I don't know what game that you can win. I really don't. Because, have you all checked out the next 5 games?
Yeah, it's a gauntlet, man.
Brutality.
It's a gauntlet. Start with OKC.
These are these games that the Pelicans were playing. These were games that they really needed to get. When you look at Atlanta, when you look at Portland, they really needed those games because now the heat is really coming. You think get blown out by a team that's rebuilding or a team that is a lower tier team? You think that's something? Get blown out by them? Watch what happens against OKC. Watch what happens against the Mavs. Watch what happens against the Lakers. Watch what happens with it against Denver. They are going to see barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken. This is not good. I don't know when the Pelicans are going to win, unless the starters of all those teams just miraculously they get sick or they get hurt. I honestly don't know how the Pelicans are going to win these next 5 games. And I know that's looking down the road. I know, Lex, it's one game at a time. I get that. But I'm looking at how they're struggling against the lower tier teams. And golly, man, it's not looking optimistic. It really is not.
Yeah. It's tough to see what's going on here, Lex, and it's tough watching these games. So I had to throw the shades on.
Yeah, take them damn glasses off, and it wouldn't be so tough.
You see, once again, DC, you step in here, and you're late to the party.
Well, I mean, you come on, you wearing glasses at night and talking about it's tough to watch and see.
Well, if you listen to what I was about to say prior to you butting in, you'd have gotten the gist of what my commentary.
You're not at the Grammys, John. John Legend, you're not at the Grammys. Take them damn glasses off.
All right, DC.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk, bro. It's rough on all of them. I'm gonna leave you alone for a while. Go ahead.
Can I wear my shades tonight?
Yeah, you can wear your shades, man. Because I wouldn't want to see this shit either. So you go wear them.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. All right, anyway, man, before we're going to tune in on this press conference soon as it pops in. Of course, we're going to get the game from Willie, but let's hit some of the stats, fam. And
What's up, Lex?
He kind of pinpointed that, man. What was going on with the stats? To be quite honest with you, oh yeah, the Brooklyn Nets had it going on from downtown, man. To be honest with you, man, 19 of 42 from downtown for 45% for the Nets tonight. They were shooting that 3-ball and hitting it. Pelicans were 10 of 30. They hit 9 3-pointers more than the Pelicans tonight. That really helped keep this game where it was. Like, we were talking about field goal percentage. Pelicans were 42 of 94 for just under 45%. The Nets had a 43% from the field and 36 from 84. The foul shots, Pelicans didn't get the benefit of a lot of calls tonight. Only 12. They went with 11 of 12, almost 92%. The Nets was 16 and 19 for 84.2%. They were letting them play. They were physical and everything. 46 rebounds to 45 by the Pels. 30 assists tonight by the Pelicans, actually 31 versus 24. The steal game, 13-14 Pel way. 5-4 on the blocks. Pelicans did keep the turnovers down to 11, but it wasn't nearly enough. Let's kind of bounce and shake to Willie Green. He's on the podium. Here he goes.
Did he like the fight tonight?
We got to execute better
Let's
at
check
the
him out.
games, and we had a few chances where we got good looks, and we just got to make them.
3-point.
Okay.
Again, they had 19, you had 10, and it's just tough to overcome minus 27 when the volume is that high, is not?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. We got to get there and test some of those shots, especially it was more so the passes that Ben Simmons made where we know that his tendency is to try to just draw you so he can kick for open threes. But overall, I loved our effort. I loved the team that went out on the floor today. We competed. Those guys played together. They did a lot of what we asked them to do. And I know they're tired of me saying this, but there's a lot of positives to take out of this game and a lot to build.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
We came up short. It sucks. It hurts. We'll feel it tonight. And then tomorrow when we come back in, we'll get right back after it.
One of those positives was Yves Missi. Again, very young career, but it was a career night for him, and it was really good to see him do it on both ends of the floor.
For sure. Huge bounce back game for Yves. He and I spoke about the Orlando game, and he wanted to come in tonight and really let his presence be felt. And the biggest thing that he did is he competed on both ends of the floor. And when he comes in and he plays like that for our team, it gives us a huge boost.
Did you feel like you got looks that you wanted in the final 3 minutes?
We got some tough. We took some tough ones in the final 3 minutes. So, we were trying to get into a position where we were, going after some of their weaker defenders, but we were slow. They put their hands on us. The same story, and we have to be able to sustain getting the ball over, executing, and then you can get the looks that you wanted. But we took a few tough ones.
Yeah, I mean, why do you think that happened tonight where, I guess you didn't quite execute in the way you wanted to?
We'll go back and watch it and talk about it as a team and see where we are from there, but we just took some tough ones.
Yeah, and then Trey Murphy, his season debut, what did you see out of him tonight?
Good to have him back on the floor. A little bit of rust, but, he played through it, played hard. It was a spark for our team. He's another guy that can open the floor for us, and we expect that Trey will continue to get better as the season progresses.
Well, what's kind of your message to the team, especially with this tough stretch coming up next?
Stay steady. Whatever we were doing before this, let's continue to do it. Let's continue to stay together. I've said it many of times here, but adversity is a part of life. And right now, we're in it as a team with the amount of guys that we have down. We don't like it. Nobody in the NBA likes it, but it's a part of some of the things that you go through. And there's always a lesson to learn out of this. And we'll stay together, stay after it. And eventually it'll turn in our favor.
Let's stay together.
Oh, boy!
Yeah, they are. I mean, we got a bunch of high character guys in our locker room, and they make it easy to walk into practice, even after tough losses, those guys are locked in. They're watching film. The music is playing, and they understand that we've all been through this before.
I'm with Stan Van Gundy. Turn that damn music on.
Grind it out and get through it together.
At the end of games, what's the balance between finding the right matchup, finding the right mismatch, or just running like your normal base offense?
Well, for us, the balance is, as we're studying in the game situations, is get the ball in your best player's hands as soon as you can and get them into an action as soon as you can. And those are some of the things that we were kind of trying to accomplish tonight. Didn't do a great job of it, but we'll continue to get better at it.
And tonight, you guys were 4 of 25 on 2-point shots that were just outside the rim, but in the paint. Those have historically been shots I feel like you guys are comfortable with, but this year, for whatever reason, you're not particularly efficient in that range. Is that something you're hoping to take a deeper look at, maybe move away from that, or maybe do something different and get, I guess, better looks in those ranges? Yeah,
we definitely want quality shots across the board, and quality for us is, paint, short paint shots, rim shots, threes. And so those are the shots that we want. But, with the guys who's on the floor, there's times where we're forced into taking some tough ones, and we, as best we can, we'll continue to watch it, continue to talk to our guys about the quality shots that we want, and try to go after those.
I know this isn't a flattering stat, but so far you guys haven't won the quote-unquote shot profile battle in a game yet when it comes to just looking at rim and 3 rate opponent versus your rate.
Yeah.
You guys have yet to win that. Just what are your thoughts on that? Is that something you want to prioritize, like, normalizing a little bit? Do you feel like, it's a product of injuries as well? Just, I guess, what are your thoughts on that particular stat?
My thoughts on it is that you're right. We all know that as a team. We talked about it as a group that we're 30th in rim and 3. And so we'll continue to watch it on film, continue to work on it in practice and in shoot-arounds, and work with our young guys on how important it is to go out.
Sound like we're going to keep doing the same shit.
Search for those quality shots. And when we take them, it looks good. When we don't, they lead to, transition points, things like that. So we're working on it. And, it'll be more helpful when we get our full roster. Right now, got a lot of young guys that we're working, teaching, and growing, and we'll continue to do that. All right, thank you.
All righty then. That's Willie Green, basically reading the script.
Wait,
That's
Q.
the same shit I hear every night from
Q.
Willie Green.
I'm scared, Q. It's over.
Hold on, DC. DC, don't be afraid, bro. Just
I didn't hear anything about Joy. Nobody was playing with Joy. It's over, Q.
No,
there's no Joy.
Well, listen, DC. All I can say, bro.
Did they have some force at least? Y'all, anybody heard some force?
No, there was no.
What about some pace? No pace, no force, no Joy.
Pace, sporadic pace.
Like that.
We got together. We still got togetherness.
We still together.
We done lost all of our mindfulness, as you can see.
Willie is.
It was never there. It was never there.
No Joy, man. Man, it's a tough loss tonight, to be honest.
Tremont said it was peace.
It was peace.
Yeah, it's peace. It's peace.
It's peace, right?
He peace, and he left the press conference. DC, let me kind of lend to you now, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna go to you, brother, because Lex basically opened the broadcast up. She had a really good breakdown on what she thought happened today. Listen, the Pelicans, with this loss tonight, bro, that's 5 straight losses. The Pelicans sit at 3.
Don't worry about it. We got about 5 more coming.
Yeah, that's
what's
I seen the schedule, man. I would be shocked if we win any of these games.
They're 3-8. Pelicans are 3-8, currently on a 5-game losing streak. In the next 5 games, the Pelicans could realistically lose 10 straight games. The next 5 games against OKC, Denver, Lakers, Dallas, Cleveland. Now, we talked about a 10, starting the season off 10-0, but very well the Pelicans can find themselves on a 0-10 situation over the next 5 games. So anyway, DC, what are your thoughts on the game tonight, brother?
First off, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all being up in here.
Peace to Jamaica.
I appreciate Q wearing the shades, looking more like John Legend every day. But shout out to you, Lex, for being here. Because at this point, I'm surprised anybody shows up anymore. Like this shit, this is bad, man. I mean, we have the stuff I'm sure we'll get into later with Zion, so I ain't gonna fully bring that up right now. But you got all of that going on. You got Brandon Ingram who goes out tonight and plays in the first half and looks all world. I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome, and then scores 2 points for the rest of the game. I'm like, damn, you can't make this shit up. Like, what is going on? Trey. I'm just happy to have Trey out there. So whatever he did, it's good. I don't care if he 4 for 14. Who cares? Just happy he out there, right? Yves Missi gets his first goddamn double. Missi gets his first double, right? He dropped 17 points. Man, look, on that alone, if you'd have told me that and we playing the Nets, right? I'd be like, oh, yeah, man, we definitely won that game. Then if you'd have told me this, well, DC, they had about 2.5 minutes left in the game, and the Pels were leading. Oh, and Missi's got a double. Oh,
DC
wow.
Cracking up, he talking to us.
Oh, wait. And you say I'm cracking up. What you talking about?
DC cracking up, asking himself questions.
No, I'm saying if somebody would have told me this, take your glasses off and see what I'm saying, okay?
That ain't got nothing to do with that. I hear you perfectly, sir. Thank you.
Then if they told me Brandon Boston had 10 assists, I'm like, okay. Got a lot of stuff going on here. Junior Robinson Earl scored 15 points. I'm like, oh, man, for sure the Pels had to turn that to a W. Nope. We found a way to lose the game by not scoring the last 4 minutes of the game. How the hell does this happen? I'll tell you how it happened, bro. It's just horrible strategy, preparation, and pulse for the flow of the game, man. So many times Willie Green should have did so many different things, bro. And, you could see the players kind of fumbling it away. When I saw our man Green, I think he got a steal and he missed that damn layup. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, it's been hard for y'all to score. Why the hell are you even going for the layup right now? But I guess I kind of side with that one. It just felt rushed and like they didn't know what the hell they were doing. No plan. The offense was in the dumps. BIA made 2 points all second half. But I guess we just gonna put it all on his shoulders. And we draw up a play with 14 seconds left, and the best thing we get is B.I. getting doubled and Javonte Green shooting a 3-pointer. Oh, God damn, man.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. This game was lost because of coaching, bro. Obviously, we definitely could have won this game. We had enough talent out there. We had the players, playing good enough. We found a way to lose. And in watching this, Lexxah covered all the technical points on how Willie messed this up. But looking at this, Q, you know what I really see? This is like the Panthers game with the Saints to me, bro. Like, this is like that final straw. Well, if you're really looking at it and you're competent from up top, and Zion is going to be out for whatever time, you still got to deal with DeJounte out, Herb out, CJ out, whenever the hell he coming back. This is when you just cut ties with Willie Green, bro, and just let James Borrego see what you got in James Borrego. He might be your next head coach. You might be able to hold on to just let it go. It's not getting better. His claim to fame is what? Defense, right? And somebody in the chat, I didn't even look up the stat, but somebody in the chat said we 30th in defense. It's like, bro.
So the defense is not even.
Defense ain't even
at all.
Defense ain't even left.
It's not there. Nor is the offense.
Nothing. We
So
held the
it's
team to 107, which is that's like us holding the team under 100 points, Lex. Holding them 107. That's the lowest I've seen the score in a while since maybe that Portland game. So we can't stop nobody. We can't score.
Yeah.
And we can't even look competent. We can't stay healthy. Our medical staff can't tell the truth. What can we do? You know what? Fire Willie Green and try something different. We damn sure can lie.
That,
Ain't no more joy. Ain't no more joy, man.
Well,
we can't even play Anita Baker no more, Tasha.
It's crazy because some of these games have actually really been winnable. They've been winnable. But like I always say,
we could love.
Coaching really does matter. It really does. I think another thing, I think in the first half, it's astonishing to me that the Pelicans don't know how to attack a zone. They were struggling. And when I saw Brooklyn play the zone, because they played a little bit of zone, they actually looked good. I mean, I don't understand why these basic things are not, you don't understand how to do just the basic things simply by, just playing a zone. Guys don't know how to get open. I mean, can anybody try, just setting a stagger screen and flaring, and then somebody cutting to the basket, and then once you hit the middle and square up to the basket, you can either attack reading the defense according to the defense, or you could shoot it out to the corner. That's very easy. It's not hard. It's not hard. I just wish, I understand injuries and things, but golly, man, I mean, you could just see those plays are there. You can run those things. I don't understand how you can make the game hard. Telling Brandon to go one-on-one, making tough shots. I don't like those tough shots. He shouldn't be taking tough shot after tough shot. That is crazy. That's crazy. When you look around the league, you don't see, Kevin Durant does not take hard shots. He can't make a tough shot, but he doesn't take shots like that. Luka Doncic, I mean, you can name anybody. That's not normal. That is not normal. And that's just really something to me. Why does he continue? And he's, in a lot of ways, he seems to be reverting back to what he's been doing, but he still takes too many tough shots. And now he's taking tough shots from behind the arc. Dude, no, that's not what you want to do. That's just, I'm trying to understand why he wants to do that.
I know why, Lex.
Even when they go in, I'm still saying that's not a good shot.
Coach told him go figure it out. That's him trying to figure it out, Lex.
But that's awful, man, because it's
no direction.
Exactly. That's the lack of coaching, and then on his part, I think it's understanding the situation. Dude, if you have two guys on you, you don't want to continue to hold the ball. You got to kick it out. And I know Brandon, he's been doing his thing. He's been doing Brandon. But let's look at everything. Just like you said, DC, 22 points in the first half, 2 points in the second.
24 shots.
I mean, so you were there. You were there the first half. What happened to the second? You know what happened? adjustments came. Ooh, don't say that word, Lex.
What's the word? What's the word of the day?
Oh, adjustments. The A word. We not only had the C word, but we had the A word. Oh, and you know what? Hey, what y'all? Guess what? I got something for you.
When the adjustments come, Lex?
Do you know? In a lot of these games in the second half, adjustments were made on
You
Brandon.
bullshit.
Oh snap!
It's got to be the first game that didn't happen.
They don't make those. They let Brandon do Brandon that first half, but when those adjustments come, you don't think they know what's going on? Hey, double that dude. He's just gonna go 1-on-1. And then if you double him, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a turnover. No, we ain't even gonna get you started. We go make the adjustment as soon as the game starts, and then we go make more adjustments in the second half. It's like they're gonna take Brandon away.
They're gonna double them and force you to do something else. That's the adjustment. That's not something new.
Say, BQ, what music that is in the background? That's what they be listening to in the locker room.
This is what
music.
Willie
Green said they be playing.
No, this is what I'm playing for all the Zion people out. This is dedicated to the Zion.
What this is?
There's some tough stuff going on right now with the Pelicans, man. We're on a 5-game losing streak. The next 5 games could put us on a 10-game losing transition back to where we need to be.
All right.
It's
There's 82 of these things. I know you talked about earlier in the season. It's like, it's a really long season. How are you just dealing with like the volume of games and games night after night after night in the NBA?
I mean, I'm just trying to take care of my body is the main thing. It's way different in college, like I've always been saying. You play almost four games a week sometimes, so just gotta take care of your body and then try to recover as much as you can. Yeah, and how are you trying to contribute? Being in the starting lineup these past few games, what are the things you're focused on? I mean, it's a new league, everything is new, so there's gonna be a lot of ups and downs. So the main thing is stay focused. You have a bad game, you have to forget about it. You have a good game, you have to forget about it too. I mean, it just keeps going. I mean, no one is gonna wait for you. So if you have a bad game, you just gotta flush it. Try to focus on the next game and try to bring more energy, or then bring whatever you lack of on the previous game. You had a play tonight where you faced up, and I think Cam Johnson was in front of you, and you went by him. Is putting the ball on the floor a little bit and facing up something you can do from time to time? Do you think? I mean, yeah. I mean, if people from Baylor or if anyone watched my highlights of Baylor, I was doing it a lot of time. You just sound just like getting used to it, trying to get familiar with the NBA style of play and everything. So yeah. How's the NBA style of play different or unique than what you've been accustomed to? I mean, whenever you get to a new team, you're the youngest guy, you have to just get used to it. I mean, just see and then get your marks. And the more you get comfortable, the more you can try things out there. I think third quarter or something with the shoulder, everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. I just extended a little bit, but I'm fine now. The other day after practice, we saw you and Brandon Boston working through different pick and roll configurations, just different defensive looks thrown at you guys. And then tonight, it seemed like you guys were able to put that in action. So what can you share with us on what you've been working on specifically there and how it's translated? I mean, just be aware of the split. I mean, sometimes you try to split our guys, so just shut through and then ask for the ball. And then right there, just make a decision. Either you're driving or you're just kicking across. And I mean, Brandon did doing a good job at it. I mean, he tried to implement it today during the game. And I think he did a good job at it. And we just got to keep going from there. And sometimes when the ball handler's getting trapped and you end up getting that ball, it's been your playmaking on that short low roll has actually been pretty quick. You've been able to find those corners. Has that been a point of emphasis from the coaching staff, or is that something that you're already pretty comfortable with coming into? I mean, I Baylor were doing a lot of short rolls, so same here. They just try to make me a little quicker about it, just like a 0.5 decision, like they say. I mean, either you drive it or you just pass the ball. I mean, just do something so the defense just come back for you, so you have an advantage from it. And sometimes the defensive end is a shot blocker. It's tough to balance between going after the shot and boxing out. Just where are you in the middle of figuring that out? I would say I'm just trusting my instinct. I mean, just go with it. Sometimes I feel like I should go. Sometimes I don't go. It just depends on it. I mean, I'm just trying to read the players and see the reaction, and then whenever I feel like I should go, I'm just going with. Thank you.
All right, that was Yves, man. Speaking of which, let's hit these stats. We'll keep you guys in tune on whoever will pop up there next. But you look at some of the stats, fam, individually speaking. This Yves was awesome, man, in this game. But BI 10 of 24. But DC kind of alluded to this stat a little earlier. BI played 35 minutes. That was tied with what Brandon Boston played. It was 10 of 24 from the field, 2 of 9 from downtown. He finished with 24 points, 9 assists, and 5 boards for BI. 17 points from Yves in 30 minutes. He was 7 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from the foul line. Finished with 11 boards, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. Very solid game for him. And then, of course, 15 off the bench from JRE in 20 minutes. 6 of 9 from the field. He had 4 boards, an assist, and a steal for JRE. 12 from Trey Murphy in his return game. In 26 minutes, he was on a minute restriction. 26 minutes, he was 4 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown, 2 of 2 from the charity stripe, 12 points, 2 blocks, 5 boards for Trigger Trey Murphy. 7 from Brandon Boston in 35 minutes, 3 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from downtown. Shot wasn't known for him, but he contributed in other ways. He had 10 assists and 7 boards to go along with those 7 points. Jose Alvarado had some issues. He was finished 1 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4. Had a little issue there. He finished with 3 points in 18 minutes of action. 11 from Noel in 22 minutes. He had 6 assists, 4 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown. Javonte Green had 27 minutes, finished with 8 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and 3 steals, and not too much from the rest of the guys. So the Pelicans go down again. They are now 3-8, losers of 5 in a row, and have a hell of a gauntlet. It's coming up here soon, man. So, but go ahead, Lex. Please feel free to get in where you fit in. I know we're gonna kind of move this thing along. We got the looking at that. And I think that's probably the end of the press conference. The Pelicans have ended the press conference, so we've heard from those guys. But on the docket coming up next is these guys. OKC is on the way. We got to go up there and take them on. You see some of the statistics. Now these are statistics from in terms of that were added up prior to the matchup tonight. But it gives you an indication of what we're dealing with this OKC squad. As you can see here, look at that opposition points per game. First in the NBA, first in opposition field goal percentage, 10th in three-pointers made, 8th in three-point attempts, 8th in free throw percentage, 6th in turnovers, first in steals, first in blocks. This team is a dangerous team, and the Pelicans will be lined up against this club. And you can see the Pelican stats are not nearly as awesome as they supposed to be.
We 10th in blocks.
There you go. 11th in 3-point percentage, DC. So you're 11th there. 10th in blocks per game. 13 in steals.
All right.
12th in free throw percentage.
Okay.
11th in 3-point percentage. And 20s everywhere else. So anyway, let's kind of delve into the preview of because we done probably handled the business on what we've seen tonight. But feel free to elaborate on OKC as we get ready to go into this 5-game gauntlet. What do you think? Go ahead, Lex.
The Pelicans are about to face a team that has a strong identity, even without Chet, without Hartenstein. Everybody understands their role. And this is not going to be easy. Really, I think this makes them more dangerous. A whole lot more dangerous. Because that means that there's going to be more threes. And I feel like they actually have better tools to play small ball than the Pelicans do, especially at this point. So you're talking about, Yves, he may not play a whole lot because you don't have a Chet. You don't have a Hartenstein. But he'll probably put them out there. They'll get a couple of threes on Missi. Maybe he'll make the adjustment, take him out, and play the small ball, but it's still kind of a disadvantage because you really don't have anyone who can really slow down Shea. And then, just the way that this whole team plays, they really play on a string. It's actually, for them to be as young as they are, they really play some disciplined basketball. They really do. These guys are very disciplined.
Well coached.
Yes, and they're well coached too, and both. I mean,
They got
both.
an identity, Lex.
Yeah, they do. So when you look at everything that this team has to offer, I think before the Denver game, they were blowing teams out. Now, they were just winning one way in comparison to what Cleveland's doing, because Cleveland is winning different ways, which I think is way more impressive than what they're doing. But they lost against Denver by 2 points. And I think they recently just lost another game, so they have like 2 losses or something like that. But, the Warriors beat them. Yeah, the Warriors beat them. But again, we don't have that type of design. Again, they played against another disciplined and strong identity team. I just don't. I don't know what the answer is. Energy wise, I'm still not pleased with the energy. I don't feel like it's enough. I don't feel like the Pelicans are really matching the energy of the opponent team. And I feel like in most cases, a lot of times the other team, like when you look at how Brooklyn played Cleveland, they were playing them hard in that game. I watched a little bit of that game. And when I looked at them playing against the Pelicans, they were probably half that, and they still beat the Pelicans.
Damn.
Yeah. So I'm not pleased with the energy, and that's why I keep saying energy. I just feel like there's no conviction. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta feel the game. I don't know. It's like, I see them running up and down the court, and I know it takes energy to run up and down the court, but there's a difference watching this team go after loose balls in comparison to other teams. It's a huge difference. It's like that it factor, maybe, but they need more. It's still too laid back. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but I just feel that. I mean, I kind of find it hard to just get in the game, and I'm listening to Antonio and Joel, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, oh look at that," and I'm like, I did not feel that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously they got to make it exciting, but it's just hard, listening to them, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, y'all really felt that like that, or y'all just just playing around because you got to make it sound exciting, but I don't know.
It's like going to one of your kids, park games. Like, anything that they do, you're gonna be excited about,
Well, and these are grown men, so I mean, come on, man. I mean, you just, like I said, and I know Stacey talked about this on the stream, watching other teams play. Like, there's just something. There's just something that these other teams have. Like, they're getting after it. They want it. Their desire to win is just on another level. And the Pelicans don't have another gear. It only seems like they have like one gear and that's it. They're not like, okay, we're going to play right here and that's it. We're not going to, like, if the Pelicans have momentum, it's like they don't run. They don't push on the accelerator. It's like that should rev you up. You know what I'm saying? And play with more of a sense of urgency. Instead, on tonight, they had momentum and they took their foot off the gas and they started to slow the game down. And I don't know if you do this, Antonio talks about it all the time. This team plays best when they play fast. They never look good playing slow. This was since last season and probably the season before that. Don't play slow. Keep playing. It's a close game. You have to keep playing. So I don't know. Like, I don't really know what the answer is, but I know the percentages, you know, that's for gambling purposes, definitely.
DC, what you think? What we need to do here to kind of switch up things, bro?
Forfeit until they fire Willie Green. That'll really switch it up because
there's no other way.
Boycott, like Stacey said.
I mean, how many times do you have to see the same thing to know it ain't gonna work? Or do we get enjoyment out of being jerked around in the first half, thinking we actually have a chance, only to see it fall and crumble as the other teams make adjustments and we come out doing the same shit? I mean, it's, you know, like, let's just forfeit and risk not getting nobody else hurt. Jose already hurt, so now we really don't have a point guard.
Yes.
So you're dealing with an OKC team. Not only are they better than you right now, more talented, better coached, they got the mental edge. This is a team that demolished you in the playoffs. So if I'm OKC, I'm sure, you know, that was their first time, those group of guys doing what they did. So I'm sure they see the Pelicans, they're excited. I don't care if we at home.
Everybody,
them people excited to play us, man.
Next 5 teams are excited.
What chance do we have other than us pulling off some type of miraculous game from Trey Murphy, B.I., Brandon Boston, or some combination of the three? Because those guys just got to go out there and just figure it out. They ain't going to be given no other strategy to be able to slow down OKC. They ain't going to be able to be given no strategy on how to score better on. They just going to keep going out there doing the same shit we've been doing. We're going to score about 105 points, maybe 2 or 3 more. And the other team probably put up 118, 120 on us, like usual. Because I don't see anything changing. Are we getting DeJounte Murray back? CJ McCullough coming back? We getting Herb Jones back? Are we even going to have Jose? We trading for a center before the next game?
No, we're not. And
what's going to change?
YouTube is having issues right now, man. They having streaming issues right now. I just got a notification from YouTube saying they're having trouble streaming to YouTube. This may be an issue with YouTube, so we just keep. But once we get done,
we're gonna keep going, and
we just finish. It'll hit as soon as it's being recorded right now. It's just live for whatever reason. YouTube is having some issues, so it's the first time that's happened, but it is what it is. So anyway,
this ain't the first time the Pelicans got their ass kicked the way they got it kicked.
That's true.
I just see more of the same, man. You playing OKC, and this is a bad loss, man. This is one of those losses where it's like you really should have won the game, or if you did lose, it shouldn't have looked like this. Like you didn't score the last 4 minutes of the game. Like how are they going to go into playing a team like OKC confidently, who are without a center because both of their centers hurt, but we ain't gonna be able to do nothing to exploit that. We ain't got no center. So it's like where they weak at and where we strong at. What can't they do against us, and what can we do against them? Like I don't really see a path for them to be able to win this game, man. This team is they've been riding a hell of a high from last year, and they don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. There's really no answer for SGA. You can only hope to contain him, slow him down a little bit. Definitely try to keep him off the foul line. But other than that, like, what do you really realistically see the Pels trying to do. We know they need to play faster. The Pelicans know they needed to play faster for the last 3 years, man. We never consistently see it. They always wind up slowing the game down. Why? Well, the lack of a point guard is one reason. And two, when they don't speed it up, you ain't really got no coach driving it home, or maybe he get tired of driving the point home. I don't know, whatever the reason is. But they're going to continue to do what they've always done and what they've been doing. And that's lose as of lately.
All right.
Willie,
I'm sorry.
The streak continues till 10.
Hold on just a second, Lex. Let me make a quick notification to the family members.
Okay.
Yeah, fam, we have had, for whatever reason, we having some issues with YouTube, but the reality is that's why we use multiple streams. Yeah, it's Twitch, LinkedIn. There's several different links that's in there, so y'all can keep on vibing through. But just to let y'all know that for whatever reason, that's what happened. But anyway, go ahead, Lex.
Just going off of what DC was saying. Willie Green just alluded to what you said in his presser, and we all heard it. He's not trying to change anything. He believes that it's working, or it's gonna work. So, as far as with you, Big Q, that kind of goes to the growth. That's not growth.
Well,
he's not trying to grow to continue to go to something that doesn't work and expecting different results is insanity.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Insanity. And he just said that. That came from his mouth. He believes this stuff, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I keep saying, like, I'm listening. You know, I listen to people, very intently. I know everybody does, but this guy, like, it doesn't take, out of all the fluffery and flittery words, whatever he's saying, that right there stuck out the most. Like, dude, you're not trying. You're basically saying you're not trying to make adjustments. And I said last season, this dude basically, he's not trying to win. Think about that. To have a coach that doesn't want to change, that doesn't want to grow, and you're doing the same things, expecting different results, and it keeps going downhill. It's like, how many reps do you need to understand that, hey, this doesn't work? You need to change it up. That's either like a crazy man that needs to, go to the crazy house, or, a stubbornness at an all-time high. I don't know. Maybe the stubbornness is kind of nice, but that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And when I heard him say that, that really puts things in perspective. Like, golly, man, you can't win with this guy at the helm. You cannot win. Coaching matters. Coaching matters. Coaching matters. Even when your stars are down, even when your main role players are down, coaching matters. Some of these games have been winnable.
Especially tonight.
Yeah. It's like, come on. Like, and I understand guys are out, but dude, this is because you went 4 straight possessions. And in between the third and the fourth one, you called a timeout and still came out and did the same thing. That is insanity.
You got to stick with it. Got to stay together.
That's not staying together. That's basically like we're going to stick with it because the thing is, I don't know how to coach, so this has to work. That's your scapegoat. Like, that's not good. That's just not good. I mean, and if anybody doesn't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. But this game was winnable even without your main role players, without Zion. This was a winnable game. You had the lead. Where was the timeout to, hey, guys, let's keep playing. Stop slowing the game down. Stop slowing the game down. Hey, did you hear what I said? Don't slow the game down. Keep playing. Keep playing. Don't slow the game down. Keep playing. Keep your foot on the accelerator. Say that as many times as you need to. Okay, he's slowing the game down. Get him out the game. Get him out the game.
He ain't got the ball.
Are you deaf, dumb, or stupid? Dog, I said pick up the game. Pick up the game. Keep your foot on the accelerator. Don't slow down. And if they ain't listening, then get somebody up in there who will. Because there's somebody on that bench who wants to go in and, I'll do it, coach. Jemison, you run a point. Run down the court. Move. Seriously. And that's crazy. But for guys to slow the game down, and it's like, dude, you're not doing what needs to be done. You all don't do well slowing the game down. You have to know your strengths and weaknesses. So, I mean, I don't know what the answer is. There's a lot of things, because the thing is, if you don't have the players that could cover for your flaws, if you don't have the players out there on the court to cover for your flaws, that means you are put in a position where you have to coach. And guess what? He can't. He can't.
Yeah, this is it's quite problematic. Yeah, it's YouTube, fam. They're saying this. That's not on me. That's YouTube having problems. But that's why I use other platforms. There's other links. It's Facebook. It's LinkedIn. It's Twitch. It's X. I'm Kick. I'm pretty much 4 or 5 different platforms. We are several different platforms. That's why we do it like that, just in case YouTube having some type of issue. Anyway, let's move on to this one, Lex. This is one DC, the Zion thing, man. We have to talk about that. This is an article. Shout out to brother Terry Kimball. I'm gonna get him on the stream coming up soon, and kind of go over his thoughts on the Pelicans' current situation. We've had brother Kimball on the stream before. He used to cover the Saints side of things before he went to the Pelicans. Real smart reporter, and also he's in the locker room. NBA fans react to new Zion Williamson injury update. Zion Williamson will be out for an extended time after his latest injury. Pelicans are struggling now at 3-8 to start the season with many injuries to keep players derailing their early season hopes. One of those injuries is the star forward Zion Williamson, sidelined indefinitely with a hamstring strain. The 6-year forward expects to miss at least 4 to 6 weeks recovering and rehabbing to return to the court, per ESPN insider Shams Charania. Williams has dealt with hamstring soreness for the past week, missing 3 of the last 4 games. And then in the game he played against Cleveland on Wednesday, the 2-time All-Star checked himself out before halftime. Williamson would return in the third quarter to finish the game, but the Pelicans announced the injury news a few days later. On Monday, the Pelicans and NBA family members reacted strongly to the news of Williams' injuries timetable. And this is pretty much what Shams said here. Let me play this right here for people.
Let's start with Zion Williamson here. What is his status?
Zion Williamson will be out for several weeks, I'm told. This is an injury that Pelicans are bracing for him to be out about 4 to 6 weeks. And his return will be based on rehab and how that treatment goes on that hamstring strain. We know the Pelicans with Zion Williamson, they said indefinitely. We know that they are not sure yet exactly how long this rehab is going to take for him. And this is devastating for a Pelicans team that's been ravaged by injuries all season. And Zion Williamson himself, he was the lightest he's ever been in his career. He's been playing well this season. And this is a devastating injury so early in the year for him. He's played in under 50% of NBA games since being drafted #1 overall in 2019.
Yeah, that's just a bummer for Pelicans.
Yeah, and it's more of the same, man. So anyway, this is some of the stuff that Brother Kimball's talking about here as he showed a few tweets from people. Just put out a few tweets here. It says, more like all season, he'll be back for a few games, then he'll be out again, repeat a few more times. Just put us out of our misery with this dude, please. 4 in 6 weeks means we'll see him next year. Another one says, I'm not a betting man, but if I were, I would bet the over 6 weeks. Right? It's time for the Pelicans to move on from Zion Williamson. This is another one right here the guy spoke about. He says, time for the Pelicans to move on from Zion. There are a lot of good players on the Pelicans rosters, but it's hard to gain any momentum without consistently fielding the same lineup. And clearly, this is what Brother Kimball says, clearly some of the family members are frustrated by the former Duke standout injury history. Last season, Williamson's season ended in the play-in tournament against the Lakers after he injured his hamstring during the fourth quarter of that game. The season before, he hurt his hamstring in January against the 76ers. Williamson did not play any game that season. New Orleans hosts the Brooklyn Nets at the Smoothie King Center on Monday night, which that happened already. The Pelicans looked to end their 4-game losing streak, in which they did not. Hamstring. And that's why a lot of people are kind of saying, oh, here we go again.
We're hamstrung.
The Pelicans are hamstrung with hamstring from Zion Williamson. But anyway, DC, thoughts on this, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not as worse as it could possibly be. You know, when you hear a lot of the noise, it almost makes you feel like Zion should retire. You know, not just hearing some of the stuff people are saying, but that's about what we thought. Remember, we sat up here and we went over the strains and the different grades, and we said they were probably lying. And, you know, I think I said I thought it was probably a grade 1, and, you know, everybody's like, well, it could be grade 1, 2, or 3. It looks like it's a grade 1 or grade 2. You know, he's obviously having issues, took himself out of the game. Pelicans, I guess, look like they let him play through it. And it caught up to him. So he finally pulled it after all of the tightness. Maybe didn't want to sit down. Or you could be on the side with my man Stacy. He says they pulling a mutiny. He put in the chat earlier, you know, Zion is sick of Willie Green and all of his joy and force and pace and non-change, and will continue to sit out and let the team lose to get him up out of here. You have a lot of players, older players, like I heard Gilbert Arenas say this, and you talk about other players saying this. They say you ain't a superstar till you get a coach fired. So you can look at it from that angle. Maybe this is Zion pulling some crap. You got to remember, Willie Green went up to the press conference, and before he told us about the thigh and all that the previous time, he said he didn't know what was going on with Zion. Y'all remember that? Willie Green got up there and said he didn't know what was going on with Zion.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's crazy, right? That is crazy. Your player goes out in the Cleveland game and comes back and you don't know what happened. That's wild, man. So it's a lot of weird shit going on, and this is no different. But I think it goes hand in hand with what we're seeing on the court, man. We didn't had enough, so I can only imagine how some of the players actually feel. But nonetheless, we could deal with what's in front of us and what we can actually prove. And what we can prove is Zion has a strain. So he's probably going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. It ain't the end of the world. If Willie Green does get fired and Zion comes back and plays to the level that we know he can, maybe this could be a blessing in disguise. Just maybe this could be a silver lining out of these dark ass clouds we got hovering over the Pelicans organization right now. Although if Willie Green does get fired, does that open the door for us to be overjoyed at the end of the season with the firing of David Griffin? Because that needs to happen like today as well.
No, yesterday.
Yeah, they're gonna
the year before last.
They're definitely gonna lean on the injury excuse for why the team is failing, and they're about to fall through the floor here. It's about to be a 10-game losing streak.
You can't continue to say
How
that.
can you? The people who watch the Pelicans, they watch the Saints. Nobody wants to hear that shit.
No, I'm saying
so the injuries are only ravishing y'all, and it just knocks you off course for several years. Only your organization. Isn't that still a bad knock on your front office if that is the case?
Yeah, that's true, DC, because eventually you do run out of time. And that's what happened with Dennis Allen. Mickey Loomis was trying to protect him by saying it's the injuries, but Gail says no, enough. It's time to end this madness.
How long can you ride that train? It's
you
like,
can't.
no.
Man, they've been riding that for 5 years. Lex always been injuries with the Pelicans.
But you can't do that this year. But Lex,
you know what?
Hold on, Lex, let me ask you about, let's stay on course with the Zion Williamson thing. Do you think Zion Williamson comes back to play this season, or do you think this is just one of the situations that occurred when they had hamstring issues in the past? Because Brother Kimball did a really good job of just laying out the injury history in terms of the hamstring. Remember, they did this to us a couple of years ago when they said that he'll be back, and ultimately he never returned. So what do you think? Do you think he comes back this season? And of course, then elaborate on your injury concerns.
Okay. One thing about this injury, a lot of Zion's injuries have came in the second half of the season. This is coming in the beginning. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, if this is happening in the beginning, that means, hey, if he gets all the way right, gets everything ready, because he played 70 games last season. So he has a clear understanding of his body and what he needs to do. And I really do believe he wants to get back on the floor as soon as possible. So with that being said, I think Zion, this is like DC alluded to, it's a blessing in disguise. Because I kind of feel like, well, maybe this is going to mean, well, you know what? I had to stop for a second because I had to think about that. Because right now, like, the Pelicans are at the bottom right now. So it's going to be a hard hill to climb just to make the playoffs. I don't even think that's even feasible. I think really the best bet for the Pelicans now is the play-in, which again is sad to even say that. No, I was just thinking ahead because I'm like, okay, if he come, but the thing is, the team has to continue. Well, they really aren't continuing the winning, but they have to win. They have to win. And so it's, I don't even know. I don't even know. Cause I mean, yeah, he's out right now, but the thing is, being out this whole time to begin with, the Pelicans are already in a hole. They're already in a hole. Okay, so in that same breath, DC, it may not be a blessing in disguise.
say Lex. Hold on. Yeah. Let me tell you something.
What's up?
Q, play the music, bro. What is it? Everything is gonna be all right. He's coming back like he said he would. That's the wrong song, Q.
But what position are
Fire Willie Green in the show? I can't sing everything is gonna be all right to this shit, Q. See them damn glasses made you push the wrong button, huh?
In what state are the Pelicans gonna be in, though? You know what I'm saying? Because
we're gonna be a sub 500 team next year.
What are
a sub 500?
Come on.
After the next 5 games.
Listen, it's still a lot of time because even if they
no, hold up, Q. Have you looked at the schedule, bro?
The Pelicans are in the West.
I know, but I'm saying, listen, it looks
bad. We're looking at 3-13 in the face, like right now, bro.
But listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying that the scenario is definitely playing out where they're going to be in a massive hole. But if, prior to that happening, like let's say it does go to place and the Pelicans finally pull the plug on Willie Green. And then James Borrego,
that'll change a lot.
Right. Then James Borrego gets in there. And I think that the Pelicans, he could unite the Pelicans to start winning because this team don't have an identity, man. They don't have an identity. We don't know what they're doing. It's supposed to be defensive. They're not very good defensively.
They're number 30, Big Q.
I know.
Very bad.
They're not good at all.
Very bad.
What I'm saying is that the identity of the team in terms of what Willie is, he's a defensive minded coach whose defense is not hitting. It's not happening. They defensively, they're unintelligent. It's a lot of breakdowns. Guys don't know where they need to be when they're supposed to be. Offensively speaking, they
don't know where they need to be.
They don't need to know where they need to be. The ball gets stuck. The ball gets stuck with the option number one. And then when
they don't get out and run, even though that's when they're at their best, they don't do that.
They don't run. And you see him there constantly running his arm in the pinwheel, telling them to pick up the pace.
But check this out. If that's the only thing you can keep doing, it's like, okay, get out and run it. And they did run and the shit didn't work. And then next time, down, get out and run, get out. At what point does it become redundant and you just kind of tune that shit out?
You know what? What I was telling my guys.
That's the only adjustment?
I actually ran out on the court.
There's a lot of games left.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
go ahead,
Lex.
Lex said she ran out on the court.
Yeah, I did. And I spoke to my point guard, and I'm like, I want you to pick it up, and I want you to push that ball. And if you don't know what it means, here, come over here, and we'll talk about it. But the thing is, it's like we gotta move, pick up the pace. You gotta do some extra stuff sometimes. And I start talking their language. I'm like, I need y'all to put y'all's gaming headsets on, like you playing Fortnite. I say all this to them, and they hear every word. Okay, look, talk in the headset like you would to your boys. That's what I need y'all to do. Let's move. Let's pick it up, and they will. You just have to have a way of speaking their language and doing things that, hey, they need to feel that passion from the coach. Let me tell you something. Willie going like this. Next play down. Next play down. You ain't gonna do nothing else. You ain't gonna do nothing else. Next play.
What are you doing? They don't listen to you, right, Lex?
Run out on the court. Run out on the court. And then get with him, buck up to him. Be like, I know you heard me. You didn't hear when I was all, being all cool and collected. But it's like, do something different. Do something different.
He's not gonna do that, Lex. That man.
You know what? Hey, you could do like Roy Jones. No, wait, not Roy Jones. Roy. He was the head coach of North Carolina.
Roy
Williams.
Yeah, thank you. I'll think about boxing. Anyway, no, he took all his starters out, set them down. Look, let the second string, third string play, and he looked at all of them, looked at them in the eyes, guys. What are y'all doing? And I know this ain't college. I understand that, but it's like, you know what? Nobody's doing stuff like that in the pros. So to do something like that, that's like, oh shoot. And let me tell you something. That camera is gonna be zooming in. You see what I'm saying? We see all that stuff going on the sidelines. Something like that. Those cameras are. I'd let them know too. Yeah, right now the camera is on all of y'all right now. All of y'all right now. What are y'all gonna do? I took all y'all out because you all are not doing what I'm telling you to do. Like, we trying to win. And I look everybody in the eye. Are you trying to win? We had a 4-game losing streak. Remind them what's at stake, what's going on. You got to tap into those competitive juices, and then you'll know who has that competitive fire up in them. It's like, okay, y'all ain't winners. But see, the thing is that fire has to come from the coach, though. See, those are things that I've seen other coaches do. And you know what? A lot of times coaches get results that do things that are not normal instead of doing the same thing, doing this. They're not listening to you. They're not listening. So you have to find a way. You have to keep trying different things to bring out that competitiveness in your team. You have to do that. I wish they would, or I wish he would. But the fire has to come from the coach, though.
All right, DC, close out, bro. Last thoughts before we bounce out, man.
Well, I just wanted to point one thing out. Lex, you asked us if you could play with joy and a smile on your face. All right, remember that?
DC.
That was last show.
I'm gonna slap you with a fish, man.
Well, Giannis got behind the podium. He says he plays with joy and a smile, and he plays like a child out there.
This is basketball. You play basketball.
Maybe we need to get Giannis, Lex. That might be the perfect player for Willie Green.
You know what? Willie Green can have Michael Jordan on his team, and he would still find ways to lose. That's how bad this dude is. And if that doesn't send a hard message, and you talking about Michael freaking Jeffrey Jordan, okay? Like that's how bad that's how bad he is.
I don't think Jordan would let him lose. Jordan would be cussing.
Exactly, he would get him fired.
He would run him off.
Willie wouldn't last.
He'll run him off.
He'll beat Willie up, bro. Jordan punch him in the face.
If Willie Green had Luka Doncic, if he had Anthony Edwards, if he had Shea, this dude would be just that bad.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And I'm being serious. Like he's not doing it. He's not doing it. That's how bad this is. So think about with Zion. I mean, look, I already said I know it's guys down, but even when Zion was playing, the fact that he didn't get a lot of touches at the start of the game, and then you sit him down first. This dude has hamstring tightness. How do you combat a hamstring tightness? Well, you can't sit and let it get tight. You have to keep, motion. You know what I'm saying?
I think Willie Green is subjected to what's going on with the medical staff, which is ultimately controlled and ran by David Griffin. Well, that's definitely what's going on. That's true. That's definitely what's going on in terms of him.
You know what? The whole organization is not in sync. There's too many factions. Willie Green has factions with Borrego. They're clashing, and now nothing is looking good. The offense nor the defense looks good. There's stuff going in between, Willie Green and Griff. And then Bryson Graham, well, he's always piggybacking off of Griff.
When the last time y'all heard from Bryson Graham?
Haven't. Won't. You're not going to hear from him. And I wanted to say something else, but that ain't really.
He ain't gonna say nothing. But I agree with Griff. That's basically all you're gonna hear.
Haven't heard from him. Haven't heard from him since the.
The pressers like media day. We haven't seen him since media day.
Well, he said during media day, he's kind of still learning, and he alluded to stuff like that.
Why are you all getting developmental, giving people that need to be developed these positions?
Money, Lex.
No, they still like when are you going to prioritize winning now?
Well, they still paying Stan Van Gundy, so and we don't even know how much his contract was. We still trying to figure out how much Willie Green getting paid. We know they're in the luxury tax. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know what they paying David Griffin. It's definitely a money play because there's other people you could get in the building that can do a pretty good job as a general manager. You want to pay them. We still holding on to Willie Green. You know why that is? Money. They probably don't want to fire him.
You know what? That's what the problem is. All these decisions are because you were cheap.
Not just that, you can still do it cheap and do some. A lot of decisions they're reactive decisions. They're reactive decisions
because they don't know how. They don't know how. Like everybody who's getting somewhere, they're spending money. Look at Steve Ballmer.
Well, he's kind of a bad example. I know.
No, but I'm saying he has vision. You know what I'm saying? He was like, look, we got to get out from the shadow of the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
We got to be our own, right? Those things right there, that's important. Identity is so important. Having your stuff together is so important. And this has been going on for way too long. It's been going on for way too long. This has been, look, you're seeing a trend now. And you know what? Guess what? Guess what, BQ? It wasn't Dale Demps. You know why? Because Dale Demps left. And look what he's doing.
Yeah.
It wasn't Mike Malone.
It wasn't by itself, though.
Well, yeah, we can't. Don't give Dale Demps all that credit.
No, I'm saying
he ain't by himself, man.
He's not doing it by himself, though. I
understand that, but whatever structure that he's under now, he's excelling and he's a part of that. Like the thing is guys are leaving this organization and they're actually doing better. That's my point. They're doing better. Like their situation is improving. And this is of recent. Like you're seeing that trend. Like there is literally something going on about the way this organization is ran, how it's structured, that it's not allowing guys to grow. And that's the thing that has to be pinpointed. Like this has been reoccurring. It's been reoccurring. It's mistake after mistake after mistake. You had Chris Paul, you had Anthony Davis. You look at Anthony Davis now, look at his situation. Believe it or not, his situation improved. He's not as injured as much. And the stats prove that. I know people still call him Mr. Glass, but hey, let me tell you something. He really hasn't been Mr. Glass. When you look at the numbers, he was actually available to play a lot on last season. And, he's doing better this season. It's like you just look at it, then you don't want to be to say Drew Holiday. What else needs to be said about that?
Yeah, it's quite the conundrum that's going on. But like that's a part of the situation that's happening with the Pelicans, man. They are they have the same problem. They hire these guys who make a ton of errors and they don't discipline them like they're supposed to. They leave too much for them. They hiring one guy when they should have more of a committee approach. Like you have a president, you have this, that, and the third. And really, the answers are in the building. You get rid of David Griffin, Swin Cash steps up, takes his job. You get rid of Willie Green, Borrego steps up and takes his job. That pretty much means that your organization going a different direction because Borrego he's a better coach than Willie Green. He'll definitely bring an identity to the team, have them playing faster. He'll bring the right temperament and overall IQ in terms of leadership. Swin Cash is a perennial winner. She's won at every level. So that's your answer. So you don't have to search for leadership. Those guys are already there. The issue is the Pelicans will have to lose to get these guys out of the way, unfortunately. So we are there. So potentially the next 5 games could be that. But DC, go ahead. Say what you're going to say, bro, because we're about to close out the stream, my brother.
Well, as far as the Pels, man, I think it's a lot bigger than just that. Just remembering the Chris Paul situation. And when we almost didn't have a team, the league stepped in, took over this, took over that. A lot of blame was put on Dale Demps, a lot of it rightfully so. And the owners before him, he wasn't the owner, but general manager, and the owners before Ms. Benson, But the Pelicans, I just see it as like it's a narrative around the league, and I think everybody colludes to make that narrative true, due to the fact of how we get trades and people trade with us, of us being like a farm team, man. And I think all small markets go through this, where they try to pillage your talent and keep you getting these guys, and you kind of get them into that next year of their contract where you see what they can be, and then you lose them for really nothing, and you just keep spinning your wheels. But because that's the situation doesn't mean it has to be that way or stay that way. Look at the team we about to play in OKC. Look at the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Toronto Raptors, who used to be the Grizzlies. They're not really a small market team per se, but kind of the way they came up is similar to a small market team or a new franchise team. And you got you have others. So even the Brooklyn Nets, who we played today, like they came, lost their franchise, moved it, and all of that, and then they still had a successful era at times. Were playoff bound. They did enough to get KD, Kyrie, and James Harden there, even though that didn't turn into nothing. But this whole thing, man, is bigger than what we just looking at with David Griffin. He is just a person that's there that I almost am just starting to feel like he's one of them people that who told Miss Griffin about him? Like, who put the bird in her ear for to get him in here? Because he just seems like a guy that's carrying on more the same. Or maybe people saw him in his incompetence and knew that him trying his best would still go over there and accomplish the same thing, because there's no way we should have lost Chris Paul, miraculously been able to get Anthony Davis, lost him for nothing, did nothing with him, and now we're looking at the same thing with Zion. And all of these guys, you could say to some degree, we mismanaged, misused, and didn't put the proper things around them, the proper structures in place. It's sad, man. And you talking about, this is 20 years of basketball with those three guys. And most teams, when they get a guy like a Chris Paul or Anthony Davis, man, if anything, the bare minimum is you turn that into being an annual playoff contender or participant. We weren't even able to do that. The best run we had was with Chris Paul. And that wasn't even under this leadership, just under the Miss Benson era. And some of it is like, man, what is it really that makes us so soft? And the more you look at it, you start to look at the family dynamic we got. You know, everybody everybody's is a brother, and it's all this friendliness.
Yeah.
And you like that from one aspect, but another aspect, like when they get out there and play and you don't win, it's like, man, nobody don't care about that. You know, yeah, I'm happy Trey got his money, but what does it all mean if we can't turn that into anything? Trey will just be going somewhere else on his next contract. And everybody else that we continue to get, if we don't look at this and take it serious, man. Like, I don't know who is advising Miss Benson, but we have a serious problem across the board with accountability. The same problem that we just watched the Saints have. And you see a guy like Darren Rizzi steps in and in 1 week just changes the whole atmosphere in there, and they go out and beat a 6-3 Atlanta team. I could see the very same thing happening with the Pelicans. You know, Willie Green isn't the only issue, but somebody has to go to start about a change of a different direction. We need more rigidness. We need kind of what we talked about with the whole Stan Van Gundy thing. We need somebody who, like, they ain't gotta like you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. When I think about it, man, and every time I played a organized sport, the more I think about it, it's like, how many of my coaches did I really like? while they were coaching the game. You don't really like them. You appreciate it later when you see what they pull out of you or what they were able to get out of everybody by what they did. But in that moment, you might not like to hear that shit. You don't want nobody to tell you, hey, man, look, you need to get in there and practice. You need to go your ass to sleep. You need to make sure you eat right. You need to do this, that, and the third. Man, in that moment when you want to do what you want to do, you ain't going to like that. But if you actually buckle down, do those things, and that person is holding you accountable, because you don't do them, I ain't going to give your ass no playing time. I'm going to sit you on the bench. And then you do them and you see the results you get from them. That'll change your perspective. I think a lot of this has to do with accountability, attention to detail, and just common sense. Like, we do so much stuff that is just in the opposite direction of every winning franchise out there. So if we're not intentionally trying to lose and build players up to send them to other places, and we continue to stay in this perpetual cycle of only existing to be a team that finds generational talents and allows them to go to the 4 to 6 major teams that ESPN wants to push everybody to, then we have to take a serious look in the mirror and start doing things different. And there needs to be consequences for all negative actions. That's the only way you get out of this BS, man. Like, the medical staff, how many times have they lied to us or told us some crazy shit? Like, we sat up here on the show and talked about the right hamstring, right soreness, then it jumps to the left hamstring and all. Then he's out indefinitely. Man, can you name another player that's happened to? Was Zion hurt this whole time? Do y'all really not know? No. Like what the hell is going on? And it's not like it's just this one situation. We can go back to when Zion messed up his foot and had the Jones fracture. He gonna be there to start the season, and he misses the whole year. Have we heard about anybody getting any type of disciplinary action for that? No. So, okay, then you got it. Well, is that part of our strategy? And if that is, then who is making the decisions for that to be part of our dumbass strategy? Because all it does is infuriates fans and plays on our intelligence and make people pissed off and run them away from the franchise eventually because you're trying to sell tickets and sell dreams. So it's like, man, the whole thing a lot of times is a joke. Everybody can see what's going on right now with this Pels team. And you have people that are diehards, and this us. We the Pelicans family because we were born into this, or however you got here. And you keep watching them do the same thing, and we supposed to get up here, be happy, and clap and act like we gonna do something different, and we know nothing ain't changed. So the Pels need to make a goddamn change, bro. They got these 5 games, and if I'm correct, I don't think they win any of them. And I would say if they don't at least win one home game, there ain't a goddamn reason by 20 games into the season, Willie Green should still be a head coach. After these 5 games, if they go the way I'm expecting, about game 20 on the season, it should be over for him. They're probably going to give him a pass until DeJounte come back or CJ or one of them. But Baron, you get one of those guys back and it still looks ho-hum, man, you got to cut the cord. I say cut the cord now, but this organization, we are so conservative because Miss Benson is such a nice woman, and they constantly just steal money from them. Take their sweet ass time given the results that she's obviously trying to pay for. So David Griffin probably doesn't want to move on from Willie Green, because if you got to move on from him, I mean, we got to look at you, player. You the one got all these coaches in here. You'd have been better off if you'd have just not fired Stan Van Gundy. Because I guarantee you, he probably had better results. But I know we got to get out of here, Big Q. I could keep going. I was kind of quiet this year. Just wanted to get all that out, bro.
Yeah, I got to cut you off.
got what?
I got to cut you off right there. You got 15 minutes of running that Rastafarian dropping some science.
Take a one off of there, Q. You got the glasses on. You know you don't see right with the glasses.
That Rastafarian.
About 5 minutes, though. About 5 minutes.
No, that was a long.
Stevie.
That was a very long performance there by DC right there.
The blind one, the big Q.
So yeah.
So what happened, bro? You fell in a vat of acid or something, bro? What happened to you, bro? Why you got
him off? If you were here on time, DC, he had him off, and then he put him on because of the way the Pelicans are playing. It's unbearable to
Lex, you don't see. You don't.
I thought he just wanted to be cool, but
because see.
He's a cool cat, but I mean the thing is, it's like, dog, I don't want you to see my emotions because look, y'all can see
Big Q keep it 1,000 with the glasses on.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, I did want to say one more thing, if you don't mind, Big Q.
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead.
I know a lot of people have been saying this, but yeah, I think it may be in Zion's best interest if he's traded for real.
Damn.
I know that's tough to say, but I don't feel like at this point he's going to get what he needs, and the Pelicans aren't going to get what they need. Zion needs to be around better people that can understand his body and stuff like that. But I feel like really, and it's always been like this, but really it's literally between Brandon and Zion. It really is. And really, maybe they would be better off with Brandon. But Zion, I just think he needs to be around people that can get behind him, that can understand his body to the max, because I don't think that's going to happen here. And I kind of feel like if he goes somewhere else, the weird thing about that whole thing is that Zion's probably going to do a whole lot better. Go look up and be like, dang, man. Why could the Pelicans get that? You know what I'm saying? But again, if you look at the history, it's like, hey man, there might be.
I gotta slightly disagree with that a little bit though. It's not him getting traded being better, but the fact that we gotta put some accountability on Zion. Like Zion came in and he wasn't doing all of the right stuff.
Let Lex finish the commentary there, DC.
All I'm saying is that look, that's why I said it's both ways. But it's both ways. Zion hasn't done his part for the Pelicans. Pelicans haven't done their part for him. That's why I said that. That's why it's like, maybe there does need to be a separation there because, really, everything's just reoccurring. It's basically like swimming in mud. It's a fresh start for the organization. It's a fresh start for Zion. But I think people may have a point about that, and plus Zion has the better contract. When you look at the situation that he's in Brandon, Zion has the better contract. Zion would be actually easier to move.
I don't think so. Not right now. But let me just have my rebuttal. I feel you about him getting traded, but I think a lot of this is on him. Like Zion fully acknowledged that he didn't do the right things, as far as taking care of his body. But maybe if he was with an organization like Miami Heat or something, and they would have forced him to, then I think it would have probably been different. I can agree with you there. But my thing is this, like, Zion is an awesome player. But ever since he came through the door, man, we just had bubble wrap on him. And Zion came from Duke.
Reflects leadership. And if the leadership was not right, because just like you said, they did put pressure on Zion. They babied him. They coddled him. Whatever you want to use, that came from the organization. Okay? You treat people how you want them to act. If you treat somebody bad, well, they're going to do bad things because you treat them bad. And it's the same thing here. If you treat him, oh, are you okay, Zion? Oh, you know what? Why don't you just take a break and sit out this game and everything's going to be all right. Just calm down and just take your time. That makes a man weaker. That makes a man weaker. And not to mention, injuries wear on your mind. I don't know if any of you all have ever experienced a torn ACL. I had 2 ACL surgeries. And let me tell you something. Everyone that I've talked to, including just understanding that whole process, it wears on your mind. It wears more on your mind than the actual injury. If that makes sense. Like, injuries are mental. So you have an organization, oh, it's okay, Zion, take a break. You know, breathe in, breathe out. Woosah, woosah. You know what I'm saying? And he's dealing with an injury that's wearing on his mind, that's frustrating him. He's going through emotional ups and downs. And let me tell you something. He's a male. He's a male. I say that because it takes a female longer to heal from that stuff. It takes a whole lot longer. It takes at least 2 years and some. And females are more emotional than men. You see where I'm getting at? So the thing is like those things you cannot do to a player, especially when he came in from Duke, having all the pressure in the world. You see how he responded with the pressure?
That's what I was getting at with Coach K.
He wasn't making no money. He wasn't making no money. He wasn't making what he is now. And he was playing harder. He was playing with more conviction. He was playing more consistently. With no money. He didn't have this fat contract. So I'm looking at that like, and everybody's like, oh, Zion's not playing because he got that money now. Like, dog, how do you go from playing the game that you love with so much passion and conviction, okay, with no money, and then you get into the league and you don't want to play because you do have the money? I mean, I don't know. That's really weird.
I guess he's partially a product of his environment with that. The Pels definitely should have put a very headstrong, leader to coach him. But exactly. I'm looking at it like this. This is the one thing why I'm saying put more of it needs to be on Zion. Maybe he's in the process of doing that. Maybe the sitting out thing is to get Willie Green fired. Zion should be raising hell about them making changes in the organization. He has to use his power as a star and step into a leadership role and demand that things change. Like, to me,
he ain't gonna do that, man.
I know he's not cute, but I'm just saying when you have the type, hold up, Lex, when you have the type of pressure that he had and the type of expectations of a player like that and the talent that he has, you look at these other guys, man, that are superstars. That's exactly what they would do if they're dealing with a disorganized, discombobulated franchise, bro. They're going to push and force for change. You can't just sit idly by, man, and go with the motion if you truly want to win and you truly want to be who you're supposed to be. I'm just putting a little bit more of that accountability on him. I mean, it's a higher standard you got to have for yourself, bro.
I'm not mad about that.
He's destined for greatness, man. If he just gets it together, does the things he's supposed to do, but he has to demand that greatness of himself, and he has to demand that greatness of everybody who's around him. And anybody who don't have that type of demand for greatness that's around him, then if he asks for a trade after doing all that, I wouldn't be mad at him.
All right, Lex. Last thoughts, so we quickly, so we can close out, because I don't agree with that. I mean, I agree with the accountability side of things, But
Yeah.
you need a head coach that got a resume that knows what he's
Oh
doing.
yeah. You need that too. You need that. But that's what I'm getting at, Q. If you don't have it, you need to force the organization to get you one. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, Lex.
The thing is Griff dealt with LeBron James. LeBron told him all the moves to make.
And they won.
And he did not like that. He didn't like it. Look at Griff now. That dude is power struck, and everything we know that everything that he says is very manipulative. Okay? He's lying. He's a professional BSer. And he has this by design. That's why, when they ask the question on the stream, who goes first, Willie or Griff? I would like to package them together, but it's definitely Griff. He has to go because he's orchestrated. He's like part of the source. He doesn't want anyone to be in power. And after dealing with LeBron, let me tell you something. He learned a lot from that. Look what he's doing with Zion. Zion is the only person who's had similar hype as LeBron James. That's what LeBron and Zion have in common. That's what they have in common. So I'm looking at this. Griff understands what he's doing. I feel like he's power struck. We talk about him all the time. He's got his hand in everything. Do you know why he has his hand in everything?
Because he's a control freak. That
Exactly.
ain't hard to tell.
He wants to show I'm that dude. I'm controlling everything. I don't want nobody being empowered. Guess what? Bryson Graham's not empowered. He's too busy piggybacking off of Griff. Look at Willie Green. Willie Green's not even combative. He's not gonna, be combative with you. He's not gonna hold any type of argument.
Well, why would a control freak put a guy in that's gonna wrestle control away from him? All these guys are docile.
Exactly. If you look at everything,
They don't want to win, Q. You got to make the right move to win, bro.
Persona. Look at the personalities of everybody. Lolook at it. They're very similar.
Yeah. That
Nobody
he orchestrated
is
all of that.
Up a fuss. Nobody is combating. Nobody's argumentative. Nobody is doing that, and that's by design.
Of course, I agree. That's
Zion
the
when
message.
he was a baby. He's 18. You don't know nothing when you 18. DC.
No, he was 19, Lex.
Huh?
He was 19.
Okay. Really?
Still know anything.
I mean, you understand what I'm saying, right, Big Q?
I got you.
You're 19. You want to come in, all right, I want to do the right thing. I don't want to ruffle it. Tell me somebody who's coming into the league with an attitude problem trying to change things. No young guy's going to do that. It's like, dog, I came from being broke. I didn't have nothing. Look, mom and daddy be like, son, make sure you listen, follow directions, do your best, work hard, all that stuff.
But he wasn't doing that though, Lex.
No, he came in hurt. But they never wanted Zion to be empowered.
Zion was skipping rehabs and the whole nine. So I mean, I'm gonna let you go, but I get you. He wasn't following all the rules though. Come in.
Lex, please.
Just what I'm saying is you have to have strong leadership. And when you have someone who's in a leadership position and you're not empowering people, you're not trying to uplift people, you're not trying to make people better, you're just trying to keep them at a certain space so you can control them, something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with that. You're not going to grow. You're holding a billion-dollar corporation, organization, you're holding that organization hostage. I really do feel like attitude reflects leadership. That's where it starts. Zion did not come in as the leader of this organization. He didn't. And so the thing is, I'm pretty sure he saw things. This organization is not disciplined. They're not operating like most organizations. When you look at the Spurs, when you look at Miami, The structure, it doesn't even make sense. They don't have committees where they need to have committees. It's like Griff is making all the decisions. Absolute power is corrupt, absolutely.
Yeah, he's that's why we call him Octopus. All this is contrived and set up by him with this basketball cult mentality that he's pushing. That's all set up there. This wannabe family garbage. Just a basketball team. They'll gel by wins. More wins than losses. And since he's been here, he's had a losing record as a general manager. And this could be the situation that this will ultimately get.
Right, he ain't even the general manager. He's the vice president.
He actually
acting as the general manager and everything else.
He basically is the general manager because the other guy don't say anything, and he selects quiet guys for a reason. This is not this guy is quieter than the other guy. So it's just what it is, man. So
guess what? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropped 45 points, 9 assists, 5 steals, 2 blocks, and made 15 of 16 free throws tonight. And that's what we're facing.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what they got.
What are the stats going to look like against the Pelicans?
He might go for 50, Lex.
Probably the same. It'll be the same.
A triple-double?
That's what we're facing.
It'll be the same. OKC gonna walk on the Pelicans, man. The Pelicans just don't have enough oomph to close these games, man.
They got enough oomph, man. All enough players, man. We don't even have a point guard, Q. We don't have a point guard right now.
Yeah, it's not getting better.
When will the Pelicans win?
They not after the next 5 games. Maybe against who is it? The fourth the game after the fifth one. I think they got.
We just got to be patient, Lex.
I'm not now. Man, hey, let me tell you something. Since
shit.
Lex, we got to bounce, baby.
I've been patient. Zion has been in the league.
This is the next one. After OKC, Denver, LA, Lakers, Dallas, Cleveland, Golden State. After Cleveland, Indiana, and Toronto might be where you are.
Toronto may be a win, but that's kind of hard to say.
But that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Man, we can't beat Toronto.
Hey,
Indiana might be.
They beat Memphis.
So 6. So you're looking at about 6 games. It could be one. They could be losing by 11 in a row. But anyway, that's going to do the stream.
Couldn't beat Atlanta last time. Phoenix, Oklahoma. San Antonio. We might be able to get them.
We'll be back at another date to kind of wrap over this thing, man. We're gonna replay this stream for the family members for whatever reason. YouTube.
Man, that's like 4, 5, and 20.
Has an issue with these restricted. Both YouTube channels are having issues. I think this is something going on with YouTube. So anyway,
man, come on, man. You know that was Willie Green, bro.
Willie don't have the power to do that shit. He barely had the power to run his own fucking team. How you gonna do that?
He told Griff
last season, y'all.
No, we're gonna leave it at that, y'all. We'll pick this up on another date, man. This is in need of another stream, man, because the Pelicans got problems, and right now it's not looking good. Wednesday is the next matchup for the Pelicans against OKC. It's a 6:30 game. It's on ESPN, and all the nation can see the Pelicans funk loud in the front. So we'll be back then to talk about it. But listen, appreciate all y'all for being on the stream. Do us a service. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Do us a service and comment in the chat. Let us know what you think is the problem with the Pelicans. Do you agree with Lex, DC? Put it in the chat. Let me know. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to get out on that. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. Much love, and go Pels.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network. For all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelicans, fly Pelicans, fly Pelicans. And I tell them that. Fly down, Pelicans forever. Pelicans, ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late. punch a train. Swish. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow.